Welcome to Gridiron 816. We're back. We are your hosts. I'm Benny speaking. We got David and Miles here today. Guys, say hello.
Hey,
hello.
how we doing?
Going into week 4 of football, just coming off of week 3. What did we think, guys?
Good week.
I enjoyed it.
Good week.
Less injuries.
Coming off a Chiefs win.
Oh, yeah.
Do we want to talk about that first?
Big win.
All right, let's see here. So we obviously got the Chiefs-Ravens 34-20.
Whooping.
Whooping just about.
Yeah, really. I was nervous all week, and I was been saying to Miles for a couple weeks now, I thought this was going to be our toughest game of the season, and I thought it should have been our toughest game of the season, but we just had, we just had all their numbers.
I still think New Orleans is going to be our hardest game of the season. But, yes, I was very pleased
It'll look great
with the outcome of this game. Dude, that was as low a passing yardage and rushing yardage as I believe Lamar Jackson's ever been held to.
Held him to a total of 180 yards. Only 90,
Crazy, really.
Only 97 rushing.
All the
passing
statistics
yards.
coming out about Lamar Jackson and these regular season
Well,
statistics
he's
insane.
just such a good quarterback, and it's crazy that he has only 4 NFL losses in the regular season, and 3 of them have come at the hand of
The one that
the
stands
Kansas
out,
City Chiefs. That is a great
statistic.
the one that stands out to me has never won a game trailing into the half. That's insane. Out of 9 games too.
Yeah,
9
games coming out of the half.
You gotta be able to come back as a quarterback in this league to make a mainstay or be a Super Bowl champion. You can't expect to be leading by the half in every playoff game or every single game. So
0-2 in the playoffs, but we can get to that in January.
Sure, and of course this is week 3. Like everyone said in the pregame of this matchup, that no matter what, the loser of this game is going to be fine. Moving forward, this isn't a huge loss for Baltimore, but it is definitely a psychologically, definitely if they feel like they have to come to Kansas City, that is going to be easy on their part, and they're definitely not going to want to see us in January. So
I think it told us a lot about Lamar Jackson.
Oh yeah.
But I was saying I still don't want to see them in January.
I think this game says a lot about the Chargers too, because how are we struggling that much against the Chargers? But then it was almost like this game was a right.
Well, the Chargers lost this week, so I don't think
I think that quarterback's just good. I think that's what they've got going for him.
He's talented.
But good game. I got no complaints here in Kansas City, of course.
Just one thing about Harrison Butker. I just, two of them
It's frustrating coming off in the beginning, but it didn't really make
matter
a difference.
Yeah,
obviously it was interesting. And then all the different receivers that Patrick was getting the ball to.
It's a big list.
You hear his mom wasn't too happy that they kept calling him Pat.
I did. I saw that. Pretty funny. Yeah, he hooked up with Kelsey, Hardman, Hill, Edwards-Helaire, Watkins, Sherman, Fisher, and Darrell Williams.
Everyone got a piece of cake.
Yeah, everyone got a little bit of that offensive distribution.
Eric Fisher, that was cool.
Yeah, good for him. Actually, that was a fun statistic. He's first overall pick to catch a receiving touchdown since Keyshawn Johnson. That's how long it's been since people have been drafting wide receivers number 1 overall. Just a very
not too.
It says a lot about where we've come in the league and where drafting order and who to draft.
Let's talk about this. Eric Fisher,
a big fish getting the receiving touchdown. He was a tight end in high school. I mean, everyone's a tight end in high school. Offensive lineman, and but yeah, really good to see. Easy. He had to come back for that ball. Almost looked like he was going to stumble over himself, but he got a hold of it. Good catch, actually.
First person to catch first number 1 pick to catch a touchdown.
Fuck you.
That's why I know we were just sitting here talking about it for like 2 minutes, and then you're like Eric Fisher, and I was like, "Are you fucking kidding?" That's why I started cracking up.
Okay. Well. Yeah, good game. Chiefs looked good. I think we let him off. We let him off the hook. Big time. I think in the third quarter when they came within 7 points. I thought that was a little frustrating. Obviously frustrated our offensive coordinator. Bieniemy was getting on our guys
Yeah, I've never seen them that fired up before.
Good to see, though. I like to see it. Keep these guys, hold them accountable. They're not, you can't just, expect to go in and win every game and expect to, on every drive, to come away with 6 points. You got to have someone there to be able to tell you, hey, you got a job to do. Go execute and do it. And that's exactly what they did. They had a very long drive sustained at the end of this game. So I don't know.
Oh yeah,
fun game. I had a good time watching it.
Good game, yeah. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah, Mahomes is undefeated in September. So, he's ripping it apart in the month of September. No picks, 31 touchdown passes.
Yep. Let's whatever was some others. I was thinking this might be one of the most exciting week 3s of all time.
Sure.
You never know.
Yeah.
The Packers.
Let's look that
Saints game was really.
Yeah. How about Packers and Saints 37-30?
It was really good. It seemed like the fourth quarter was all Packers kind of, but the first 3 quarters it was so back and forth, and then fourth quarter hit and the Saints just started to fall apart a little bit. What's his name? Why can't I think of his name? Scroll down, Ben.
Receiver.
Oh, right there. Scroll down.
Alvin Kamara?
Just stay right there. Jenkins.
Jenkins had... Malcolm Jenkins?
No, what's his...
Janoris Jenkins?
Yeah, he had 2 pretty detrimental flags at the end of this game. There was a pass interference that got them, closer to the goal line at the very end of the game. And then he had another one as they were down at the end of the goal line.
And he had a pass interference last week late in the game against the Raiders that really cost him. So
he was a giant, right?
He was.
And they had some conflict. Yeah. And then Taysom Hill had a pretty detrimental fumble as well.
Did he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Really, I was thinking that Taysom Hill had a detrimental fumble. I'm just kidding. Just repeating what David said again.
Okay, Alvin Kamara, man. That dude is a beast. Anybody would be happy to have that guy on his fantasy.
139 yards receiving. Yeah.
He had
me and Ben were talking about that.
He had
crazy.
His acceleration for how big that dude is, and then also how light he seems on his feet. The dude is insane. He puts up massive fantasy numbers. Just like a beast.
That one play he had reminded me of the Pat Mahomes run versus the Titans last year.
Cut back, he had a cut back deep.
All those broken
down.
tackles, pretty nice.
Looking good. Aaron Rodgers looking like Aaron Rodgers. That dude,
of course,
putting up his regular numbers: 283 yards passing, 3 touchdowns. 21 of 32. All right on the accuracy. Into things. Their offense looks really scary for how much star power they have, I guess, on their receiving core. They're big. They don't have many big names, but they are getting it done week in and week out, and it's kind of scary to see. I'd like to see them in the Super Bowl just to get some revenge for Super Bowl one. Still, I don't. That doesn't sit well with me. I'd like to pay the favor back to old.
No, yeah, I think that'd be an awesome Super Bowl.
Lombardi, yeah.
Oh yeah. Too bad it wasn't the last one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. What else do we want to look up from week 3?
Bills Rams was a good game.
Close one.
Final score 35 Bills, 32 Rams.
Bills almost blew it.
They let him off the hook, man, early, and they came right back. Almost that dreaded 28-3 lead, as they talk about.
Yep. Yeah. Josh Allen, as a young quarterback, has got to remember, with a big lead, you can't get too comfortable at halftime.
Right. He had a good day, though. 4 touchdowns, 311 yards. I started him this week in fantasy over Lamar Jackson, which was actually a good decision because Lamar Jackson was held to very pedestrian numbers, and Josh Allen put up 40 points once again in fantasy this week, but this time he wasn't on my bench, so that was good. Devin Singletary, I like that.
He's a monster.
He's a good running back up there in Buffalo. I like their offense. I like what they can do. He had 50 yards receiving, 71 yards rushing, makes up a good chunk of that offense. They're going to be scary in the AFC. They're 3-0, like I said. Maybe someone that we'll see definitely in the playoffs, but they'll come here for sure. I'm assuming they're going to come to Kansas City, so we'll see. They looked good. They barely squeaked away with that win. They should have put them away earlier than that, and they had them put away. I mean, just got to score some field goals or some touchdowns in that third quarter, and they would have been fine.
Yep. Rams almost did the impossible.
Jared Goff looking good as well.
28-3, familiar score for comeback.
Yeah, for sure. 114 yards out of their running back, Darrell Henderson. Maybe nab him in fantasy. He's been on the waiver.
Yep.
Not a very popular running back, but they got a win for the Bills.
Yep.
Definitely.
Cooper Kupp, good game for the Rams. Rams do look good. Rams could have won this game.
They could have won that first game against Dallas too.
Aaron Donald
Of course.
really looked like he was just going to steal that game away for them at the end there with the fumble. But yeah, Bills able to hang on. They're a good team. And they could still win that AFC East. I know it's early, but
I'd like to see the throw off between Josh Allen and Pat Mahomes that has been talked about and gained so much press over the last couple of years. When is that going to happen? And when is Patrick Mahomes going to embarrass Josh Allen and his family in that contest?
And his family.
I'm waiting. Because he is talking the most smack, and Pat Mahomes is just
throwing the ball.
Come on now. Come on now. The dude can throw it like 90 yards. Are you kidding me? Whatever. Good game. Had a good time watching it. Almost let it off the hook. People, like kind of a theme this week, people not closing the games when they have the opportunity to put it away and shut it down.
Yeah, we talked about the Bears.
Falcons once again. This is so
30-26.
This is disappointing from
Bears going on to their 3-0. Falcons on their 0-3.
Just a football standpoint, just coming off just looking at it from a fan standpoint, that is just sad. The Atlanta Falcons blowing just double-digit leads. They've done it in 3 straight games?
Yeah,
Jeez,
crazy. Was it a double-digit this one?
15 points.
Yep.
I'm so excited about Nick Foles.
Yeah, telling Mitch
I am
Trubisky
a huge Nick Foles fan.
Yeah.
Big Dick Nick.
Big Dick Nicky. He got her done. He came in the third quarter and said, "All right,
I got this one.
I got this one, Chicago. This one's on me."
You can set this one out.
I've
done this before.
I've done this before.
Bigger game, Super Bowl MVP.
And I will take that starting job. Mitch, you've done a mediocre job. Have a seat. I'll take that starting job. That's exciting for Chicago. I don't remember the last time they started 3-0. Good for them, Monsters of the Midway. I'm always, Midwest respect for the Midwest teams.
Yep.
Chicago looking good late in that game. Let's see. Who do they have next week? Who do the Bears have next week? Let's see.
The Colts.
They have the Colts next week?
Yeah.
That'll be a good
I
game.
think they could take that one, but actually the Colts look all right with Phillip Rivers. But I like Foles in at quarterback, and I think if he keeps doing all right, they're going to keep him there.
I just like seeing him in number 9. Give me that Jim McMahon vibe of the Bears in the 80s. This seems like the planets are aligned for the Bears, at least now, to have better success. Because it's not it seems like they have been kind of snake bitten in recent years in the playoffs. Just looking good. Good outlook for Bears fans, because I know they've been pretty upset the last decade or two.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Any other games we want to talk about?
Let's see here. Texans, I'm just they fell to 0-3, and I know that schedule is rough. Going to Kansas City week 1,
Definitely.
Baltimore week 2, Pittsburgh week 3. It's hard to say if half the teams in the NFL probably would start 0-3 in that season.
Are we thinking that the main reason for their poor playing is because they don't have Hopkins anymore?
Oh, for sure. They would.
We think it all.
That's a
comes back to
7-point
that.
game. Excuse me. Pittsburgh scores 28. Houston 21. It's a 7-point game. I believe wholeheartedly they win that game if they have Hopkins, and the other games that they play. They could be undefeated right now. That record could be flipped if they had DeAndre Hopkins. You just don't know. It would have probably been a much more competitive game in week 1 against us. But you never know. Just kind of disappointing. They went 0-3 in 2015, I believe, and they made the playoffs. I believe that was the year. So it's it is possible, but such a daunting task if you are the Houston Texans or Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, I think they won their division. That was the year that we went in and
and beat them.
Third this year. I think they just didn't have that great of a division that year. Yeah.
Just really not sad, but I don't know.
Who do they play next? The Texans.
Let's see.
I think it was the Vikings.
And they looked good this last week. They barely lost that game against.
Yeah,
I think they have a game against the Patriots, the Packers.
I think the Texans can take that one, but yeah, it'll be a good game
for sure. I still don't know who I'm gonna pick for that game in our picks later on here, so we'll see. It'll just be a gut feel for me on that.
Maybe.
We want to talk about how we did with our picks?
Why not? Who's in the lead? Hey, David, who's in the lead for the picks?
I think right now, in the 2 weeks that we've done it, because we didn't do it week 1, folks, but between the 2 weeks, Miles is 22-10.
That's right.
David is 21-11, and Ben is 21-11.
We got a tight race, ladies and gentlemen.
Very tight.
I am the king this week. Feels good. You can look to any number of picks that may have been the one this last week.
Yeah. What about this specific week? What were our numbers for the picks?
I went 8-8. I think I made some risky ones. I went 8-8, and then you guys went
11-5.
I think Ben went 10-6, and you went 11-5.
Okay,
not bad.
Something like that.
Not bad.
Or you both went 11-5. I can't remember.
Should we make our picks for week 4?
One thing I actually want to do here. Let's take a look at our at the standings first.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Let's go through these divisions.
Then we'll do picks.
Yeah, obviously we're into week 3, and these obviously aren't what they're going to be in a few weeks. But I think it'd be fun to take a few picks here. Maybe who's winning each division, who we think will win each division.
Yeah.
And just take a look at these here. So let's obviously just start out with AFC East. Bills over the Patriots right now with 3-0. Do we think the Bills are going to be over the Patriots in a few weeks?
The Patriots look really scary, and they look good, and they looked good in their loss.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a possibility.
I'm thinking that the Patriots will be able to come out on top because the Bills look great, but I think that the Patriots could take the Patriots versus Bills games.
Do you think they're going to sweep those games?
Yeah. I don't know if they'll smoke them or anything. I think they could be close games, but I think the Patriots could come out with the W's on those games.
I'm going to go the other direction and say that Buffalo will win that division. I think
I'm with Miles.
I don't know what it is. It's a turn of the tide. Brady ain't there.
Yeah.
That division that defense is not the same up there in New England. So
there has to be a different drive right now too. Just with the absence of Tom Brady.
Knowing that, that's a weight off your shoulders. This could be anyone's, division. And it's not out of it's not out of the Dolphins' hands either, but it's definitely between the Bills and the Patriots.
Yeah, I would say so.
But it's still early. But
yeah.
That's my pick for the division. So David's got the Patriots. Me and Ben are sticking with the Bills to win that division. They are 3-0 at the top of that division. Looking good.
We'll update our picks on these every few weeks.
Oh yeah. Let's go to the AFC West.
Oh come on, man.
Chargers neck. Just kidding. The Chiefs.
Yeah. We might win every game this season, ladies and gentlemen.
It
is still open for possibility. We are undefeated.
Yeah, we don't even need to talk.
It's not a far out statement,
right? So I don't really think we need to talk about this one. Chiefs are going to win that division, by a landslide.
Yeah, I think we all agree with that.
The Raiders look good. I think it could be a close call, but I think we'll come out on top.
All right, let's go to the AFC North, where we have Steelers, Ravens, Browns, and Bengals in that order. Ravens and Browns obviously tied right now. I think that the Ravens are going to come off of the Steelers.
I think the Ravens are going to end up coming out on top.
I just couldn't see the Browns making the playoffs this year.
No, they'll start falling apart.
Yeah.
I think the Steelers, because they had a season last season where they started off pretty good, even though they had the 2 backup quarterbacks that they were going back and forth between. They had an all right season at the beginning, and then they started to fall apart, and so we'll just have to see if that happens this year. But I think they could definitely be a wild card team, but I think the Ravens will take that top spot of that division.
Yeah, you got to go with the Ravens, and only because of the point differential in these games. The Ravens, they've scored 91 points through these 3 weeks. Steelers only have scored 80. You got to kind of look at it that way.
Yeah.
And the teams that Pittsburgh has played, they're combined 0-9. Have we heard about this statistic? The teams that the Steelers have beaten in these first 3 weeks have not won a game yet.
Wow.
So it really is almost like a phony 3-0 record if you look at it from that standpoint. So Ravens taking that loss from Kansas City, but like I said earlier, the loser of that game Monday night between the Chiefs and the Ravens was going to be fine moving forward no matter what. Even if we would have lost that game, I still think we would have won this division. But yeah, so I also agree with the boys. Ravens are going to take this division. Just a challenging loss week 3 for the
so we all
Chiefs.
agree with that. Do we think the Steelers have any wild card potential?
Oh yeah, I think.
Well, they still won those first 3 games. That still counts. So
Yeah, they
Right.
still are good.
It's
No
still
matter
good.
who they are,
No matter who they beat, they did get those 3 wins. So that they've set themselves up very nice to go moving forward. We'll just see. We'll see if they play real teams. We'll see how they look.
Yeah.
And that'll really be the determination moving forward. All right, AFC South.
All right. So we got the Titans, Colts, Jaguars, Texans in that order. 3-2-1-0. Actually, all of these standings in the AFC are really similar, except the Ravens and Browns are tied.
I think the
You really
Titans.
look at that.
I think the Titans will come out on top.
Yeah, I think it's a big possibility for the Titans. I would want to say the Texans. I really would want to, but just because of this rough start right now, it's really hard to say that with 0-3. That could very well change, but just know, if the Texans start doing better and I pick them, that was always in the back of my mind.
Looking at it right now, I'm gonna say the Colts.
Really?
Really, only because it says I'm just looking at it just spur of the moment right now. The Colts have scored 84 points through these first 3 weeks. Titans only 80, and the points against Colts have only let up 45 points. Now the Titans have allowed 74. That is disparaging. They're looking like their defense is not as strong as it was last
No,
season.
you're right. Yeah.
Colts defense looking good. I think that the Colts actually will pull this division out unexpectedly this season.
I don't even think the Colts will be a wild card team.
Oh wow. Well, that's from
They won
David.
8 games.
So I will say my final answer for right now isn't the Texans, but I will say the Titans just because of how they're standing. What is yours, David?
He said
The
Titans. Yeah.
Titans. Okay.
On to the NFC.
All right, to the NFC. Shit in the bed is the NFC West.
Yeah.
NFC
Washington
East.
Cow-
Excuse me, NFC East.
NFC East. Sorry. We'll get to NFC West, who's not doing that. NFC East: Washington, Cowboys, Eagles, Giants in that order.
Combined 2 wins.
Yes,
in
but
that
only
whole
2 wins.
division. In the
The
whole
order
division.
really doesn't even matter. They're all doing shit. The only people with wins is the Washington football team and the Dallas Cowboys.
Which is horrible. They should have no wins. That Falcons win was a fluke beyond belief.
Right.
I hate the Dallas Cowboys. Just let it be known.
It's hard to give one to any of them in this, but I will just probably throw out. I will probably just say Washington.
All right. The Eagles disappointing me in week 3, tying. That was something they did not need. If they would have pulled out a win, I would say they would probably be the favorite to win the division. But now it looks like the Cowboys are the favorite only because they did not tie. I don't know. That's a horrible division. It's too early to call because
It really
of
is.
how awful
It really
they're doing.
is.
I think the Cowboys will come out on top.
Yeah.
Because Dak Prescott's been looking pretty good, leading the league in passing yards. I think they'll come out on top. Wasn't it just like this last year or the year before that?
They've been a pretty trash division the past couple seasons, and then they've started really slow starting division. But yeah, that's basically the verdict on that. Horrible, poop, awful. NFC West.
NFC West.
Flipping the script.
Let's flip the card real
Flip
quick.
the script. Yeah.
Seahawks, Cardinals, Rams, 49ers in that order.
Only 3
Seahawks
losses
3-0.
combined in that division. So
Yeah, I'm gonna straight up give it to the Seahawks.
yeah,
Seahawks.
Russell Wilson is obviously in league MVP right now. You know, looking at it from as a week 3 perspective, has the most touchdowns through 3 games ever by an NFL quarterback, breaking Patrick Mahomes' record. He was tied with Manning, and I believe somebody else, I can't think of him off the top of my head, with 13. He has 14. Would have had 15 had DK Metcalf actually ran that touchdown into the end zone and not lollygagged at about the 5 and had it punched out by Diggs for the Cowboys. But that division looks good, and with the possibility now this season of like whole entire divisions making the playoffs, that's one that you could look at and say, Seahawks, Cardinals, Rams, 49ers, those are all potential playoff teams for sure.
Oh yeah. Let's go to the only division with 2 undefeated teams, the NFC North. It's not the Bears. It's the Packers. There is something to be said about the Chicago Bears right now. But I really do think that the Packers just have a really high chance of going all the way, let alone just winning their division.
And I have a soft spot in my heart for the Chicago Bears. Just Midwest, they don't pose a threat to the Chiefs in my lifetime. I guess that also attributes to that. But I do also think the Packers are going to win that division. Aaron Rodgers looks scary. The point differential, I mean, the Packers have put up 122 points through these first 3 weeks. Bears only 74, but and the Bears, they've squeaked by these last 2 weeks. I do think that was the best thing that they could have done is put in Nick Foles for the remainder of this season. We'll see how that goes. I'm definitely rooting for him for success. He's a good dude. And he beat Tom Brady in a Super Bowl. So what's not to like about Nick Foles? Come on.
Seriously.
So I bet they might be a wild card team, Chicago Bears. We'll see.
All right. It sounds like we all have Packers, and then Bears is maybe a wild card.
Sure.
All
NFC
right.
South.
Let's go to NFC South. Yeah. I will just straight up choose the Saints because I think that's a smart thing here.
Yeah, I'm also going to go with the Saints, even though they fell to the Raiders. That game kind of was decided by the Zebras, if you will. The referees had a big part. 129 penalty yards. That's just like ridiculous. I don't even think they should be allowed to throw 100. Maybe put the limit at 100. You can throw 100 yards worth of penalties on each team. Anything in excess of that is like, okay, that ref is, he's got a problem. So I don't think that loss to the Raiders is like for real. Like I said, they're 1-2, but you could look at it they're as 2-1 in my mind right now because that was just kind of a fluke of a loss. But they had a juggernaut in the Packers this week, so that kind of they got dicked early, if you will. In this season they're 1-2, but I do think they'll win this division.
All right, not bad picks, guys.
I also think the Buccaneers will.
You think the Bucs?
My bad. Yeah, I my bad. I'm the only one who thinks the Buccaneers. But yeah, I would actually go for the Buccaneers.
Okay. All right, that's our picks for the standings right now and who will win them. We'll come back to that in a few weeks, see if any changed.
We'll update it, yeah. But not. We'll
got a
do
little game here we could do real quick.
All right, let's do it.
Got some questions for Miles and Ben. You guys just give me some feedback. It's kind of like more likely to happen, most likely to happen kind of thing. All right, got 3 questions for you. First question up. What is more likely to happen? The Saints break their 1-2 funk, or the Bears screw up their 3-0 start?
I'd say that it's more likely that the Saints break out of that 1-2 funk, kind of just coming off of what I said moments ago.
Yeah.
But I don't think either, really. I don't think the Bears are going to mess up. I think the Saints are going to come out of the funk, and I think the Bears are going to continue to win games. They might have a mediocre record, like I said, a wild card team, but I don't think the Bears are going to mess up and miss the playoffs or anything. But I like the question. I think the Saints, though, it's more likely for them to shake off the dust and really have a good middle to end of their season for sure.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with Miles on this one. I mean, obviously, the Saints' one loss is a fishy loss.
2 losses.
2 losses. Yeah, they're 2
2
losses.
in a row.
Okay, so obviously that is fishy, but I still do stand by it. I do think that the Saints can come off of it. Obviously, I think that they can win the division.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Next question. Who is most likely to beat the Packers first? Let's maybe pull up their schedule.
Yeah. I like that question, too. So they got the Falcons next. That's a win in my mind. Oh, they got the Bucks. Oh, that's Brady, Aaron Rodgers dose. This is their second time. That
I mean, guys, look at this schedule.
or no,
This
excuse
is-
me. That's
This
their third.
is not a crazy schedule.
It really isn't. But I think
the three that are sticking out to me, and I know these are questions for you guys, but I haven't even looked at this schedule yet. The three that are sticking out to me are the Buccaneers, the 49ers, and the Titans. I think everything else could potentially be a cakewalk for them.
That Buccaneers game, leaped out to me just looking at it right this minute. That, like I said, was Brady versus Rodgers 3. So this is the tiebreaker. They're 1-1, in their records against one another. That's going to be something to watch on October 18th. That's coming up.
So what are we thinking? The one team. If we had to pick
one
team.
to beat the first team. You said to beat him.
Yeah.
The first team that's
Who
going to
has-
beat him.
Who
I
has
think-
the best chance?
The
I
best
think
chance.
I think I will just go ahead and say the Buccaneers. For the sole purpose that they've been scoring so many points lately, and I don't think that it's going to take a defense that stops the Packers from scoring all these points.
I'm gonna go.
I don't think someone is going to stop them. I think what's going to take beating them is just scoring more points.
I'm going to go out on a limb here. And let's see, 1, 2, 3, 7 games. They're going to win their next 7 games. But when they play the Chicago Bears at their own stadium and in the evening at 7:30 at night on November 29th, I think the Bears are going to come up
I was thinking the
and
Bears
beat the Packers. It's divisional games. No matter what it is, no matter what division, they're going to be tough. Unless it's the NFC
answer.
East.
Yep.
Jesus. But I don't know. I have a feeling Nick Foles he gets really good late in the season. When he gets that offense, dialed in, he's gonna look good. So I think they are gonna win their next 7 games. I don't think Brady's gonna be able to beat Aaron Rodgers. He looks super good. But I think they'll win their next 7, and I think November's gonna be their first loss. But that's just me.
I think if the 49ers have a healthy lineup, I think the 49ers could beat them.
That's a good pick. And that's on
Yeah.
that's November 5th.
All right. And last one, based on what we're seeing so far, what coach is most likely to lose their job?
Vic Fangio.
Yeah, definitely.
Vic Fangio.
Yep.
Off
And
the bat.
I would say him or Matt Patricia.
Yeah, he's had a while.
I'm surprised I like Matt Patricia, but I'm so shocked he has not been fired yet.
He has had a long time to dial that
How's
in.
Pete Carroll doing with it? Because I know that he got that first fine.
Oh,
for
he's
week
not
1.
in danger of losing his job, but
We're talking
No,
about losing jobs.
no, yeah. I mean, how is he doing with the mask? Did he learn his lesson?
I think
from
all the
fine?
coaches this week did much better. No one wants to pay.
Oh, I just heard what you were saying. Losing jobs. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Talking about coaches getting fired.
Right.
Matt
Pete Carroll is not in the conversation.
Matt Patricia, he's had a while to get that ship under control per se in Detroit. So yeah, I also agree. It's a shocker that he has not lost his job.
Yep.
But Vic Fangio is my nominee because and it's weird because I don't this wasn't planned, but I have actually watched all 3 Broncos games this year. They've just been on. I've gotten they've gotten the TV blackout thing or whatever. They got that down to where we're getting those games. But he's made some like kindergarten decisions as a head coach. And in that week 1 game against the Titans, not taking your timeouts to give your offense a chance to go win that game. Week 2, giving Ben Roethlisberger the ball back in the first quarter at the 50-yard line. Stupid with attempting a field goal, not trying to punt and give your defense a shot to stop Pittsburgh. Just a lot of things. I don't know. He's an old coach. And I don't know much about Vic Fangio, but it seems the game has passed him by in some regards. They're 0-3. They're an 0-3 team, the Denver Broncos, much to our liking here in Kansas City. But they've been awful, and now they get to go against also, I believe, 0-3, the New York Jets on Thursday Night Football. We'll see how that goes. We'll see if he can avoid any, dunce-like decisions to cost the Broncos in this game.
All right, Vic and Matt.
Vic and Matt, yep, those guys probably.
Thank you for that very in-depth answer, Mike.
Yes, yeah. I just don't like the Broncos. Sorry, guys.
All righty. And that was it for my questions.
All
Move
right.
on to picks week 4.
Yeah, let's go to it. So first we got the Broncos and the Jets. I'm gonna give that game to no one. No one's gonna win.
They're gonna tie. I'm gonna give this one to Denver. Even they are so injury plagued, it is ridiculous. They lost another player in Jarrell Casey this last week, but yeah, I'm gonna give that one to Denver.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Denver.
I'll go the Jets on that one.
All right. Next is Saints Lions. I think we all know who's gonna win that.
I think we're gonna go with the Saints on that one.
Saints go marching into Detroit.
Chargers Buccaneers. This is interesting.
This is interesting.
Buccaneers.
I'm gonna say Chargers. I don't know why, but I'm gonna say
Buccaneers.
I just think that'd be a good win for him.
Jaguars Bengals.
Why does it feel like they've played already?
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Bengals.
Yeah, Bengals, because they barely tied that last game too. They barely lost the one before that as well.
I'll go Jaguars.
Vikings,
Vikings and Texans.
Vikings.
I'm gonna go Texans.
I'll go Vikings on that one. How about the Seahawks and the Dolphins?
Somebody say Miami.
Seahawks.
I'm going Seattle.
I can't say Miami's going to win that game because they're not. Seattle's going to
It'd be tough too. All right.
Ben,
Steelers
you going
and
Seattle?
Titans. Oh yeah, definitely.
Steelers Titans is a good game. That's going to be a fun one to watch.
Wow, that's gonna be a hard one. I'm gonna go.
I'll give it.
I'm also going to go with Tennessee. Like we said, Pittsburgh. It's like almost a fraudulent 3-0 record. So
yeah.
I think Titans are going to maybe whoop them.
All right,
Ben,
Browns
what
and Cowboys.
what was your pick on that one, Ben?
I'm giving it to the Titans. All right, Browns and Cowboys.
I'm gonna go Cowboys.
Browns.
I'll give it to the Cowboys.
Browns.
All right, Cardinals, Panthers. I'm gonna say the Panthers.
I'm gonna go. I would like to see the Panthers succeed, but I'm gonna go Cardinals.
I'm also going to go Cardinals. I don't think the Panthers are going to win that game.
Colts and Bears. That'll be interesting, but I think it'll be the Bears.
I'm going to go with the Bears too.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Nick Foles takes them to 4-0.
Yeah.
I hate Phillip Rivers too. So go with Nick Foles.
Next one.
Ravens, Washington. I think the Ravens will beat them.
Yeah, the Ravens.
They're going to be pissed off anyways, coming off this loss against us. So Washington's going to feel that. They're going to get that anger taken out on them.
Giants, Rams. I think the Rams will win.
Rams, yeah.
Rams.
Patriots, Chiefs.
Come on.
Chiefs.
Cam Newton's going to see what a real defense looks like.
Seriously. All right, Bills, Raiders. I'm gonna give that one to the Bills.
I'm going to also give that one to the Bills. They've been looking scary. Their offense looks good. I hate the Raiders, and I hope they lose this game.
I'm gonna go Raiders.
All right, what do we think of Eagles, 49ers?
That's a good game.
I will probably say
the Eagles are not great. I'm going the 49ers.
I'm gonna give it to the Eagles.
I'm also going to go with the Eagles. I know they tied this last week, but they're also going to be probably pissed off about that. And 49ers, like we said, they're injury plagued. So that'll be probably a more even strength game than we would have thought going into this season if we looked at week 4. But yeah, that'll be a good game. And finally, to wrap up the week,
Falcons, Packers. Me and Miles already answered Packers.
Pack is going to, Falcons are just embarrassing this season. Come on. What if they
What can't connect? What can't snap?
What if they win this game? Then what do we think of the Falcons? Then what? Because that is
that put a lot of perspective into
it. You go 0-3 against, and you blow these leads, and then you beat the Packers. What? I don't know. I don't know.
Change your pick?
We'll see. I'm definitely not changing the pick, but we'll see what happens Monday night. That'll be definitely a fun one to look at.
Cool.
All right. I think that'll be all for us here at Gridiron 816 for week 3. Look forward to watching football on Thursday, Sunday, and Monday for week 4. Have an excellent evening, Kansas City.
Thank you guys for watching.